Welcome back to the channel, all my free thinkers. Guys, today's message has to do with the enormous amount of emails that I receive from different community members. And they're always asking me, what do I think of this particular person selling a crypto, or this particular influencer over here that just sold an enormous bag of a coin that everybody loved, or a family member or something telling them they shouldn't invest in particular plays for whatever reason. And the reason I wanted to make this is because I want to impart something on you guys, and it's just the way I think. It's a reason that I call this channel Grow Rich, Grow Happy, but mainly the free thinkers. And the reason I'm always calling you guys free thinkers is because that should be your goal, your number one goal. And when it comes to the crypto that you hold, there's one thing that I always ask myself when there's a lot of FUD going around about a particular play, or people are just not in love with it anymore. I have to ask myself this, and this is something you guys need to run through your minds as well. We always talk about mindset, but it's one thing you need to get through your mind, and always check this box off before you sell a particular play, or before you even DCA into a play. Your number one question should be, first, why am I doing it? Why am I making this action? Why am I selling this particular play? Am I selling it because an influencer chose to sell their bag? And if that's your reason, then you need to really think about that before you do it, because the last thing you want is regrets in the end. Now, we don't know what's going to happen, but this is why I always say, know why you hold a play. It shouldn't be because of an influencer. Never should be because of that. Now, understanding influencers, you know, they help you get into plays. They help you, you know, pick particular plays. But you need to have your own conviction at the end of the day. You need to be able to say, this is why I'm selling this particular play. And you have to be careful of social media, guys. Always be careful of social media. Social media is tricky. If you listen to enough of it, you will start feeling like the opinions of others are your opinions when they're not. This is why it's good to retreat from social media, do some reading, do some research, and formulating your own opinions, because then in the end of all of that, you'll be able to sleep easier at night, wondering, like, you won't have to wonder, did I make the right move? Because this person sold over here. Maybe I should get out. What's the reasons they said they was going to sell? Oh, yeah. So I understand that now. Let me go on and move my bag. These are the things I just want you guys to think about. Welcome back to Grow Rich, Grow Happy, that place where we follow the breadcrumbs to wealth. Guys, I want to talk about XRP, all my XRP army out there, because I ran across something recently that Brad Garlinghouse was talking about when it came to XRP, but mainly when it came to crypto adoption. And what he says resonated so deeply with me. I wanted to share with you guys, because remember, when I share stuff like this, I'm sharing this so that you guys can grow as individuals, so you guys can grow as investors, not just crypto investors, just investors, period. And these little breadcrumbs that I bring you is meant to help you grow as an individual, as a free thinker. And it's my belief that you'll just become a better, well-rounded person. We have to start thinking for ourselves. With that, guys, welcome all my new subscribers to the channel. I welcome you to the free thinkers, to the positive mindset. That's what it's about here. And I ask that you smash that like button. That's all I ask. Take advantage down below too. I got a wonderful merch store, but I also have more valuable than that, a 10% discount on a Tangent wallet. Get you a Tangent wallet, guys. That's where I hold all of my crypto. I have several. But I feel like it helps me sleep easier because I know if a exchange was to go down, boom, I'm good to go. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna jump over here because we're going to talk about this and we're going to unpack what he's talking about. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrap it up because this particular episode mainly is about freeing you guys from the traps of social media or just the traps of thinking your opinions are your own when technically they're probably not. So if anything I want you to take from this is become a free thinker. Think for yourself, damn the naysayers. And if you believe in something, I don't care what it is you believe in, your goals or whatever, you need to get to a place that where you deep down can make your own decisions. And let's go. All right, guys. So I'm over here. And you guys know I love these kind of videos. So I'm about to play this and then we're going to pack it up and we're going to talk about it.
Adoption comes from when users don't have to think about how it works, what the back-end infrastructure looks like. You think about, if you compare the cycle of the adoption of the internet, some people say, oh, the internet kind of was born in the late 90s. It's like, well, actually, the internet was born in the early 70s in kind of a U.S. Department of Defense, ARPANET, and then it evolved in the 90s because it became a whole lot easier to use. You went from really defense and military to they added universities. Then along comes HTML and HTTP, and all of a sudden, and really SMTP, and all of a sudden it was now usable. And then you went through 20 or 30 years of growth that we're seeing and experiencing today in the internet as we know it. I think we're still in the 70s and 80s of blockchain and crypto. It's still, we all have this experience. It's still kind of hard to use often. Like we've all probably, many of us have sent crypto to somebody else, and you send a small transaction to make sure it goes through, and you're like, okay, did you get that? And then there's a whole bunch of things that I think will get easier, and by, not, I don't want to say hiding the back end, it's just, if we want mass adoption, we need to make it easier in across the board, and that's when the utility and just the opportunity keeps growing. And I think we still underestimate how big this could be in the next decade or so.
Okay, guys, do you hear that? He said a mouthful. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. When you're looking at projects, you have to look at a lot of things where we are in the cycle of crypto. Like he's saying, I remember back, like, think about this. The internet wasn't new. It just hadn't been adopted yet. And up in the 90s, that's when people started really starting to migrate to the internet. And now you fast forward like two decades and no one can imagine not having the internet. No one can imagine it. So you look at that, and now you look at the people, the baby boomers and everything, they got in early. They saw the vision. This is when you look at plays like XRP, and when everybody's screaming all the noise about XRP is not going to do anything, and it's just too much going on with XRP, and it's just not going to be what everybody says it's going to be. This is where you got to be able to look at history. I used to hate history. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to hate history. I thought it was boring, but the thing is, I wasn't looking at history correctly. I had to learn to look at history as what it is. It's almost like a fortune teller telling you, well, based on this today, this is where we're going to be in 20 or 30 years. And if you don't believe me, just look back at history, look back at the Bible, look at a lot of the stuff that's coming true that the Bible talked about so long ago. So it's no different with cryptocurrency and the things that they're telling us right now. We have to be able to look at these things and say, okay, where are things going to be in 10 or 20 years from now? How can I position myself and my family so that 20 years from now, they're living their best life based on something that I saw now. Look at the baby boomers. I can't help but say that. So when it comes to your XRPs, your Kaspa, whatever token, these ISO 20, these ISO tokens, the 20022 tokens that are out here, when it comes to whatever play you hold, you need to be able to look at it and say, why am I holding this? Why am I holding this? And then again, always ask yourself, if someone, whether it be an influencer, whether it be your friend or family, I don't care who it is, you have to ask yourself, if they were not telling you to sell, or if they wasn't selling, would you be selling? Would you be selling at all? These are the questions you need to always ask yourself. Before you get into a play, you need to be able to ask yourself, if, okay, this person might have bought me this play. I've known about this play. But if this person wouldn't have bought me this play, or let's just look at it this way. Somebody bring you a play. Of course, some of the plays that I bring you, you probably never heard of. But you do your research. This is why you do your research. And I can only go off my convictions. So you look at the plays that I bring you, and you go off and do your own research. Then that's where you're supposed to sit back and you say, F Mr. Foresight, and say, okay, with what I know right now, what I know, would I invest in this? And if that answer is yes, then you're on your way, free thinker. If it's no, that's fine too. But make sure that your opinions are your own. They're your own. And yes, you can get opinions and you can hear from everyone in the room, because that's how I am. I am a listener. I will listen. But at the end, I always make it a point to formulate my own conclusion and my own beliefs. Trust me, because then you don't have any guilt or you don't have any regrets in the end. That's my message, guys. So listen to Brad Garlinghouse. And I believe that, like he said, we're at the beginning of crypto, but it's speeding up. We're at the 90s of crypto. We truly are how the internet was in the 90s. Like, I remember being in the military and really using the internet in the military like shit. Man. You know, and I think that's where we are with crypto now. I laughed at the fact that he talked about sending money to the wrong address. These are things that has happened to me. Therefore, when I teach people now how to use their Tangent wallets, how to send money from one crypto exchange to another, I've shown them all of this. Send a small amount, because you don't want to make the mistakes that I've made and get cocky and think, oh, let me just go on and send it all. And then you end up sending it off into obscurity. So I look at that, and I look at all of the fail safes that are available now with the, like, Coinbase has a way where they can help you get your money back. Trust me, I've used it, and they've been great to help me get money back that I arrogantly thought, yeah, I know this address, and I copied it in and sent it off into obscurity. But being I used the Coinbase an exchange to do it, they were able to get me my funds back. So I just say that to say that now we have fail safes in place, whereas 2 or 3 years ago there were no fail safes, and you could just send it. And if you messed up and misplaced a number or alphabet, it was gone. So I'm seeing the growth, and pretty soon it's going to be even more growth than that. And it's just going to be something where people don't think about the back end at all. People, when you send money through Western Union, you don't really think about how it's getting there. You just know that they're sending it to this next person. You don't really start thinking about the intricacies of how is it going and what algorithm are they using. And I feel like this is where we get screwed out of a lot of plays, because you're starting to think too much. You're putting too much into cryptocurrency with, oh, I got to think about this project. And, well, how is it getting from point A to point B? And if the banks are not going to be holding XRP but for like a few seconds, how is it going to be worth anything? We're making it way too complicated, guys. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And we can make it so complicated that we can actually talk ourselves out of great opportunities. And that's what I don't want to happen to any of us. So you guys let me know down below. What do you think about doing your own research? And that's what this is about. I want you to do your own research, have your own convictions, and ask yourself those questions before you sell anything. Why am I selling it? Am I selling it because somebody else is selling it? Am I buying it because everybody say buy it? Because if that's the truth, you're not a free thinker. Till the next one, guys.